what a game it was, Gordy. The Penrith Panthers reign supreme yet again. 5 grand finals in a row, 4 premierships in a row. They are now etched in history and one of the most successful teams, sporting organisations in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think it was a promoter's dream. 2 heavyweights going at it. Penrith were just so dominant. They dominated territory, just the subtleties in their game. Their defence is unbelievable. They don't get enough reps for their defence. I think there's only 8 players that have played in all 4 grand finals. They've lost players, and it's truly remarkable what they've been able to achieve.
Yeah, I also wrote this morning, Gordy, that they've also lost coaches. They lost the last year's Dally M Coach of the Year, Andrew Webster. They lost Cameron Serraldo, who was a finalist this year. So they've lost, 8 stars? 2 great coaches. But Ivan just turns up every year, prepares them beautifully, times the run. They're so fit, so strong. Unbelievable football organisation.
Yeah, and admit everyone they've lost, they've kept 2 really key figures, right? Ivan and Nathan, the Clearys. They're the backbone of this team and this really the community at Penrith now, aren't they? So it's remarkable. I wouldn't rule out 5. Yeah.
I wouldn't either.
I said they wouldn't win 3, so I'm not going to say they can't win 5. But
Mate, Fisher, Harrison, Luai, they have to come back.
Kickout. How many blokes do you want they've lost?
They have to come back next year.
We'll find out next year. It's going to be interesting to see if they can continue this form and I suppose dominate the way that they have the past 4 seasons now. How did we see the game? How did we see this contest between these 2 great clubs? I mean, I saw the Penrith Panthers as machine-like, methodical, and just really hard to break. In the end, they wore down the Melbourne Storm. How did you guys see it?
I saw a little different Penrith. I think their first semi-final, I think there was 2 offloads. The second one, there was 6. There was 21 offloads last night. So they tried to, pull the structure away from the Melbourne defence. Just the subtleties in that play, I think, first week they put a kick in. Last week they hit Alamotti. This time they go at the back. They're a juggernaut. They starve you of possession. They dominate territory, and they got the superstars that stand up in the right moments.
What they did, they shut down the Storm's spine very successfully, sort of suffocated them, strangled them. And 34% of the game was played only 34% in Penrith territory. And I think there was not one Storm forward in the middle made 100 metres. Penrith had, I think they really missed Nelson Sofa-Solomona's go forward. And you could see it in Jerome Hughes' miss. How did they all miss that? And, they're unbelievable
They had limited opportunities, Melbourne, especially in that first half, because, like what I said, Penrith were machine-like, they were methodical, their kicking game was spot on, their kick chase was fantastic, their speed of the line was exceptional, and they did suffocate Melbourne. And when Melbourne had opportunities, they made a couple of really bad errors that cost them dearly, didn't it?
It wasn't a classic grand final, bro. It's not a grand final that's going to live in my memory for a long time. But I just didn't. Didn't feel like that to me. It didn't.
A couple of my mates said it was the best they've ever seen,
okay, well,
and I agree with you.
Are they okay?
Well, I don't know.
The best they've ever seen.
Well, no, they're wrapping the game as
no. A lot of people saw the game as it was high quality. A lot of people saw the game as a really good game. I wouldn't say the best you've ever seen.
No, neither would I. I'm with Reedy. I thought it It
just felt like a war of attrition to me. Yeah. Just 2 sides going at it until one.
Well, that's what happens when
you
you're
didn't
really
see you didn't see any great attacking flair, though, Gordy, or any
but did you
classic ball movement.
Did you appreciate the defence and the effort? So this stuff here, like Liam Martin going and winning the collision, and look at Leota. Did he lose his GPS? Mate, he's not supposed to be there as a front rower.
The physical side was a physical game. And Melbourne Penrith were more. I felt like they were more aggressive, and you use that word suffocate, Buzz. That's the word Ryan Pappenhausen used when I spoke to him after the game. He said they suffocated us, and we couldn't find a way to get around that. So,
maybe we see it this way because of last year's grand final that's so fresh in our minds. When Ezra Mann was on fire, and then Nathan Cleary, his last 20 minutes was one of the best you'll ever see. So maybe because we'd seen that not so long ago, and then we had the 2 best teams in the grand final all year. But they're 2 different teams too, right?
I think where the purists loved it was that an average NRL game has 54 minutes ball in play. Last night, because there was the discipline, the handling was so it bumped up to 65 minutes, which very, very few games in the modern
So
era.
about 12 extra sets, maybe even more.
Yeah, so and I think that's what some people loved about it.
4 premierships in a row for Penrith. Mind-boggling. It really is. And Nathan Cleary said it himself. Will this ever be seen again?
Like, we didn't think it was going to be seen. When sides went back to back, that was rare air, right? And we would put those teams up on a pedestal, and then when they won 3, you went, oh yeah, well they can't get 4. Well, I think they can get 5. I really do. Just with the way they lose their players, the way they're able just to reinvent themselves enough and just put just different players in, and it just brings a little bit extra to them.
I'm looking at you now, Buzz, and I feel like you don't think they can get 5.
Well, I love Fisher Harris, and I spoke last week. I don't like seeing dynasties, but and Jerome Luai is a great 5'8". Having said that, why Penrith can continue is that I don't see a lot of rise in the other 16 clubs, which I think is a little bit disappointing. The Roosters, I can't see them rising next year.
Fair point.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's Storm again. The Bulldogs, can they go better than the freakish year they had?
Melbourne
I don't
get
know.
better 'cause Nelson will be
Melbourne
there.
get
But you see what I mean? We're critical, and some people have said it's boring because it's Melbourne, Penrith, and
Can they or
Roosters.
not, though? I'm not sure.
Oh,
what the
mum
answer
and
is.
Nara.
I would say you lose Luai. They bought Blaze Talangi, who's one of the best young kids in the game. They lose Fisher Harris. They bought Isaiah Papali'i, but we've seen Lindsay Smith get named in the Australian side today. So he's an emerging star as well. They just bring blokes through who replace the guys who are leaving.
Isaiah Yeo in the middle of the ruck that can
How
play
good was
first
he?
receiver.
He was unbelievable last night.
So Isaiah Yeo can play first receiver and hit. So they've still got enough there.
Considering the opposition, I will say they can win 5.
Oh, he's back.
No, well, I will
He's
because
back.
Everyone else.
I
There
think
he is. That took 2 minutes. 2 minutes
And
later.
I'll say this, why? I think there's a lot of poorly managed organisations in this competition. And we're going to talk about... Well, I do.
Yeah.
I do. And they need to get their acts together and they need to strive to become... Canterbury are doing
They're a long
that.
way behind Penrith, aren't they? A lot of the teams.
They are.
They are.
Canterbury are getting there, though.
They are.
They've built that really strong junior league to go with that excellent side they
What are
got
you
right
laughing
now.
at?
Well, after he's now all over the Dogs bandwagon after bagging them for about 2 years.
Well, you got a photo.
You're all
with-
over the Bulldogs now. One photo with Cameron Cireldo,
Yeah, the Dally
one
M's.
jersey. You're on the bandwagon.
Brady, I was critical, for your information, of Canterbury last year when they ran 16th and the year before when they won the year before that, right? They were absolute crap. What they have done since this year with Cameron Cireldo leading the joint and Phil Gould building is outstanding. And now and again, when teams... What do you want me to say? They're no good still?
I just love the way you can jump on a bandwagon.
I'm not jumping, mate. Weren't you the bloke to tip the West Tigers to make the 8?
Top 10, I said.
Oh, did
top
you?
10, top 12, actually.
Mate, you're the
Top
worst judge in Sydney and you're bagging me.